Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the Skol State of Mind podcast. Well, I'm still on it again. This topic, we're going to talk about Kevin O'Connell. And I really feel Kevin O'Connell needs to get out of his own way. So let's keep the video moving. Start with the first topic, procedural penalties. Why the hell is the Minnesota Vikings having so many penalties on offense? I think they're number 2 in the league behind the Cleveland Browns in penalties. Like, come on now. Procedural penalties, in my opinion, is a reflection of discipline, and that reflects the head coach. Like, I think there's too much going on within its offense. There's too much shifting. There's too much motion. There's too much can. There's too much going on within his offense. Like, I'm not saying that you have to make this offense so simplistic and just basic for it to run and not have penalties, because penalties are going to happen. But the penalties that we are getting right now, they are at an alarming rate. And they're starting to hold this offense back. They're starting to become true drive killers. Like, you can't be trying to drive down the field and boom, 10-yard penalty, boom, 5-yard penalty. It just kills your drive, especially penalties like the dumb ones, false start, or, an eligible man downfield, or like, it's just stupid shit like Jordan Addison not lining up, not checking in with the ref, like stuff like that. Like, it's just the same stuff over and over again. There's like, and it's not getting better. Like, I think this is the worst it's been since Kevin O'Connell has been head coach of this team. Like, there's something going on that we're not seeing. In the background, we're just seeing like the brunt of it. We're just seeing the penalties come out. But I just believe that he needs to do something, especially with this mini buy. Like, he really needs to figure something out and just sit there and say, like, hey, I need to take this out, keep this in, so I can get my guys lined up and we can go down the field. And this offense can basically flow more efficiently, because right now it's not flowing like that. All right. And one thing too is, like, now that Christian Darrisaw is going to be gone for the remainder of the season, nursing that knee injury and has season-ending surgery, you can't run these long developing plays down the field anymore. You're going to have to develop some kind of quick game now. So I really need to see Kevin O'Connell integrate that into the offense, because, like, you got to do better. So, headset coaching, right? So I've been hearing since last year, and, Kevin O'Connell and the headset coaching, and it basically goes back to, like, it was referenced that when Sean McVay and Jared Goff was together, and Jared Goff was a younger quarterback, that he had a hard time understanding the offense and recognizing defense, that Sean McVay would basically talk to Jared Goff majority of the time while he was, while the 15 seconds, doing the play or whatever, and then basically tell Jared Goff what to do. And some think that that's what Kevin O'Connell is doing with Sam Darnold, basically saying, like, hey, he's in the headset and he's telling Sam, hey, look for this, boom, 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 boom. Like, that's cool. Me personally, that's fine to a certain extent, because Kevin O'Connell's, you're not the guy out there that's getting your head bashed in. Excuse me. Like, you can only do that to a certain extent until it starts to be counterproductive. And I'm not saying this is true or not, but if it is true, it that might be an issue of why we getting so many penalties, why we have to burn so many timeouts, because we're about to delay a game, because you're in the headset too much. You're talking to Sam Darnold too much about what you want him to see and what you want him to do, to where you're not even paying attention to the time clock. Cut that shit out. Sam Darnold is a full-fledged adult. Like, I believe Sam Darnold can do what he needs to do. Like, let him do it. He's going to make mistakes. We don't need you to be in the headset the whole fucking time telling him what to do or not to do. That shit gets fucking annoying. I'm sorry. He's an NFL quarterback. He's going to have to figure it out. But you guys out there that used to give Kirk Cousins all the shit about, oh, Kirk Cousins needs this, he needs that. Hey, have that same fucking energy. Excuse me for going off right now, but I don't like that shit. Like for real, get out the headset. Let the quarterback do what he needs to do. He's been in the quarterback for over 4 years now. I don't need you in the headset the whole time telling him how to read the defense, what to see, go to this read, go to that read. He should already be doing it. And if he can't doing it, why the fuck is he in under center then? That's my question right there. Because if he can't do it, you're making this offense worse because you guys are talking back and forth and we're having to burn timeouts in the first quarter and we can't even have no timeouts going to the second quarter because we done burnt them all and we're burning timeouts in the third quarter. And when we need them in the fourth quarter, we don't have them because you're talking in the headset too much. Get it together. Figure the shit out. It's not that hard. Kevin O'Connell, get out of your own way. It's not that hard. So let's move on. Back to the headset situation. We're doing all these extra things with the shifts, the motion, talking in the headset. Kevin O'Connell has to find a way to consistently reintegrate Jordan Addison in this offense. I know you guys saw on social media this weekend with the whole free three fiasco. Everybody thought Jordan Addison wanted to get traded, blah, blah, blah. We're not going to go into that shit because I figured it was all bullshit. But you got to understand, Jordan Addison is a legit receiver in this league, and he's been forgotten. He has been forgotten this whole season. Let's just be real. Kevin O'Connell, you are supposed to be this offensive savant. Figure ways out to get Jordan Addison integrated into this offense. TJ will be coming back next week on Sunday against the Colts. That's going to take catches away from Jordan Addison. I do understand one of the main reasons why Jordan Addison isn't getting the targets that he normally would since last year is because this offense is more geared to rushing more than passing. Now, we have a legitimate running back on this team. No shade to Alexander Madison, but he was a backup last year. He was a backup that was slated as a starter. He wasn't really excelling as a starting running back within this offense. Now we have Aaron Jones, who is a legitimate starting running back in this league. So he commands the carries. So when he commands the carries, you're not going to be passing the ball that much. But Kevin O'Connell, is up to you as the head coach and the offensive savant to make sure that you keep all your skill players integrated within this offense. Because if you're talking in the headset for so long to Sam Darnold and you're forgetting about everybody else, you're not doing your job. So let's keep it moving. Inconsistent performance in late quarters. Now, this has been a topic for the past 2 seasons, right? Like, it seems like the first quarter, the Vikings come out there, they have their scripted plays, they go down the field, it looks easy, boom, 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 bam, we rolling. Defense make an adjustment, offense gets stagnant. Going to halftime, draws up some more scripted plays, third quarter, offense gets back on its feet, boom, 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 offense is rolling, defense make an adjustment, now we struggling again. Like, that's that roller coaster shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the scripted plays work in the first and third quarter. But after that defense makes an adjustment, I feel Kevin O'Connell starts to struggle. Like, figure some things out. Like, excuse me, you are the offensive savant on this team. You have to, it's a heavyweight boxing match, man. Like, you got to understand the other guy on the other side of the field, the defensive coordinator he has a job to do too. He has a job to do too. So you can't, like, he's going to make adjustments for his defense. you have to make adjustment for your offense. And it just mind boggles me, like third quarters offense, like every year. It's the same situation over and over and over again. And we can't sit there and say like, oh, that was a Kirk Cousins thing, because the shit happened with Kirk Cousins, shit happened with Nick Mullins, and it should happen with Sam Darnold. And what's the common denominator? Kevin O'Connell. Now this ain't a Kevin O'Connell bash, because I believe that he can be a good coach, but you have to start making these adjustments. You can't just be this just can't be your MO to where you can only run scripted plays. And if you can only run scripted plays, then you should just be an offensive coordinator because you're the head coach. And when we're talking about plays, play calling based on game situations. This is something I noticed a lot this year. That beginning of the season, when the Vikings had a lead, it felt easy. It looked easy for him calling plays. I know it's easy. You have a 3-score lead. You can call whatever the hell you want to call, because at the end of the day, as long as your defense is still getting 3 and outs, your offense is whatever, as long as you're not making negative plays, it's cool. But I feel that Kevin O'Connell has a hard time with calling plays when his team is behind. And that's when it counts the most, in my opinion. Because when your team is behind, that's when you need to dig in your bag of tricks. You need to get that Felix bag and just start, digging things out, like pulling things out. We're going to try this, we're going to try this, we're going to try that. And I feel like I haven't seen that enough with him to where we're behind. He just calling some straight bullshit. Like what are we doing? Like lack of creativity. Like we're behind. We need to win this game. Like what are you doing? It's like he gets so stagnant once we're behind. It's like it's aggressive when we're up, but when we're behind, it's like, oh shit, I gotta be conservative. I don't know what to do. It's like what the hell? And this brings me back to this. This is something I had a conversation about with many people last offseason, but it fell on deaf ears. I really felt that Kevin O'Connell needed to have some kind of senior offensive advisor on his staff. I think Kwesi should have called him into his office and said, hey, man, what can we do with this offense to make this offense better? I am going to hire somebody and put them on your staff and basically help you with this offense. I think it's you can see that he needs that now, because there's not too many people on his staff offensively that have had a head coaching role on all, in this league outside of Mike Pennant. And we already know how that disaster worked out. You get what I'm saying? Like we know how that worked out. Like I'm talking about like somebody on his staff that knows like NFL offense that can like tell Kevin O'Connell like, yo, bro, you're getting too conservative. Like, yo, let's run this. Like just not to try to like hold his hand, but just to be like just to give him that reassurance, like, hey, this is how things should be running in this current situation. You get what I'm saying? Like, I really think he needs that. And maybe he can get that next year, because like I remember when the Vikings brought in Gary Kubiak, like you had both Kubiaks on staff, and the older Kubiak was basically, just an advisor or whatever. Like, yeah, I I really think he needs it. Like it's just something like I just feel will be beneficial to this team. And it's not nothing that I feel like will be taken away from Kevin O'Connell, but I just want this team to succeed. And I kind of feel like we're having the same problems over and over again. And sorry about that. Like my daughter just ran in here, just kind of threw me all off of my situation right now. But that's my last topic, I got right now. But you know, thank you guys for tuning in to the Skol Set in Mind podcast. I really appreciate you guys. Follow me on all social media platforms. And You guys know how I end it. Let me get it back up. Skol, baby.